Oh, there you go. Okay. All right. Good morning, guys. Welcome back to the stream. Welcome back to the stream. Um, I just wanted to iterate a couple of things. Two things. I'm going to continue to stream as usual. Um, it'll be a little bit intermittent. I don't have like a hard schedule. I still don't. I haven't had a schedule in a long time. Um, Also, I'll be doing the mousepad review soon. I have to do it because I've been slacking on it, and I'm going to be getting a new mousepad um, either today or tomorrow, and so I have to kind of at least get started on this review before I start on that because um, I want to review every mousepad I get moving forward, and I'm going to be using that. So, from what I've heard, that's going to be like an insane one. So we have the Empress version 1 coming out um, by tomorrow, and I think the version 2 is the same. It just has maybe like, from what I understand, the silicone base or whatever doesn't have any imperfections, like no air bubbles, which makes zero difference to me. And the edges here are a little bit smoother, but again, zero difference. I wear a sleeve. I have a pretty resilient skin as well. I just have been lifting and working in a gym for a very long time. So that stuff doesn't really bother me, but um, it is the version 1, not the version 2, and I'm really looking forward to that. And then later, very much later in the month, like towards the end of it, from what I understand, we'll be also receiving the Glassworks Polarity mousepad. So we'll be moving on to do 3 different mousepad reviews by no later than March. Uh, like, because we'll be starting the review for the Polarity um, in the beginning of March. So there's a lot coming up. Also, if you see me go live under the category of Valorant, and you notice me playing a couple games beforehand, that's because Valorant is not particularly good for training. And so if you want to aim train, you go to Kovacs or Aim Labs. And if you want to do like situational training, like 1v1s, movement drills, uh, working on clearing angles, things like that, then you go to Counter Strike because Counter Strike actually has training tools in it. So you can warm up in Kovacs and Counter Strike or Aim Labs and Counter Strike, and then move on to Valorant. But this is a Valorant stream, so if you see me go from Kovacs to Counter Strike, doesn't mean that it's a Kovacs and Counter Strike stream. So that's the explanation for why I go live in a different category than what I start playing. Anyway, let's get started and see how my aim's feeling today. Probably not good because I haven't aim trained in longer than normal, but we'll see. Yeah, feeling very shaky. Like that, muscularly not warmed up. Final high score. It's an improvement. It is actually um an increase on my score. Luna Blaze. My sensitivity is too low to keep up with this thing sometimes. How am I doing? Doing pretty good, dude. How are you doing? How I expect my experience with this game so far? That's how I know you're a bot, is because you're referring to Kovacs as a game. unless you're genuinely asking. But you usually it's a first and last name and a number. It's an actual robot. But if you're genuinely asking what my experience is with Kovacs, um, it's good. Do you have any more questions to elaborate? What that means? Like what you're actually asking? No, where's it going? Okay. We're doing good. Alright, we got it back. We got it back. Oh, it's going crazy again. Alright, here we go again. I am so shaky today. Have a good day, buddy. Wait, did it just reset? Ah, dude, that's kind of... I don't like how that looks. Hair, Hermine, Fox, no rank. Like, what are the ranks, bro? Like, what are the ranks, man? It doesn't say it. Cannot stand this. I hate these benchmarks, bro. Like, I'm gonna be honest. Where's Nova at? Nova? I just have to type that to him. I gotta let him know. I hate this. I don't like the names of these benchmarks or the ranks or whatever. I don't really. I should probably not use strong words like hate, but I'm not a fan. I'm not a fan because it's not listed. Unless I'm missing something, we'll check again in about 30 seconds. See if I can find where there's a list of the ranks in order. Okay. Um, let's move on to like ones that say, oh, there's so many. There's so many, dude. Fingertip aim. Um, yeah, there's just too many. Yeah, there's no way of knowing seal. Like seal, dude. Seal. Seal. Really? That's what we're going with. And this is fingertip aim, by the way, guys. That's what the category is. And it makes sense, yeah. I mean, it feels like fingertip aim. Tiny bit of wrist. No arm at all. It's just training that muscle group. So it's cool how it's all laid out, like it is. You know, everything's kind of compartmentalized and stuff. But I just cannot stand like hare, ermine, fox, mammoth. The top rank is seal. Like, come on, dude. Stop trying to be different. Gosh darn it. Hello? Muscle blending. 1 second, chat. 1 second. Here, have a look at my headset. All right, I'm back, guys. Hello, hello. What's up? This, oh man. Not liking this. This is good, though. Like, this is. All of these, honestly, yes, all of these playlists are very, um, in game, but it's very, like, game-like, I should say. Like, you can encounter movement like this in a video game, but man, this sucks. This is hard. All right. You know what? We're just gonna move straight to Valorant. Catch. Certain ancient ability deployables cannot be concussed. There are UI damage indicators for um, display for objects that take damage while controlled by a player. Just the appearance of the social panel. We'll see. You no longer see XP denial under. Alright, gotcha. Harbor. Um. So they basically bumped Harbor up a little bit. I'm not sure. I don't know what he does really. Smoke. He has a smoke. Somehow, dude. I don't know. Okay. Let's see what they did to Reyna though. I don't understand her. Duration in world decreased from 4 seconds to 3 seconds. Soul orbs. Oh, that's like for when someone gets down. Okay, so those are only for 3 seconds instead of 4. I thought overheal was temporary. I thought it's always been temporary. You need more points for Empress? Is that necessary? I'm getting that mouse pad for a reason, bro. She's not even a top pick among pros. She doesn't even get picked in pro play, actually. That's kind of silly.
My ultimate's ready.
Hey, Neo.
My ult ready.
This is a really good drill I saw from someone to kind of like figure out how to manage your movement a little bit better. Is to like I think you were supposed to do this in Counter-Strike as well. Alright, start. Oh my word. Oh, what? I'm just kind of getting this one out of the way. Time to go do deathmatch. All right, let's go. Yeah, the first round was good though. We got what, like what was that? 23. That was a good little run. Now let's do deathmatch. Vandal deathmatch, even better.
Match found.
New microphone coming too, by the way, guys. Like, we got so much schnitzel coming. And I'm really excited about this like fitness project that we have coming up. This is gonna be pretty. This is gonna be pretty cool. I know people directly in my chat that would be interested by it. That come up in my chat. No, dude, don't do it.
How's everyone feeling? Good? Because you look great.
Don't do it.
It's now or never.
No, dude. Hey! That's not very nice. Why are you there?
Jalhat.
That's a perfect placement on my swing. That's good, dude. Dang it. Wait. What the heck? No, that was a good swing though. Like, I'm learning how to like swing with my crosshair kind of like coming across at the right time. That's what we call calming. Like, and then we can readdress like my flicks and stuff. But I can do that in Valorant. Is that attack from behind? Hey, hey! Jerk. Ah! I'm trying to learn how to, like, swing angles and have my crosshair in the right place. I'm not trying to, like, flick onto people right now. I'm just gonna spray and pray for that guy. Not gonna lie. Hey! Who said you could be there? Especially at that time. In the middle of the street. I don't feel good about this. I told you. What's to feel good about? That's sketchy. Oh. What the? Like a grandpa or something. Oh my gosh, dude. She just went whoopunk. What? That was crazy.
Remaining.
Very nice, dude. That was clean. Really? What's that about? Dude, we're getting it. We're getting it. It's not like the amount of kills or something. It's like how I'm getting those kills that makes me pretty thrilled. That's more important to me. Getting movement, I'm less and less like hugging the corner with my crosshair though. I'm kind of like letting my crosshair naturally swing. Like that. It's like tracking the corner is awesome. I don't necessarily feel like that's how you're supposed to do it. Like I feel like you're supposed to like open the corner up like that. Like you don't move your cursor at all and then you just kind of pop like that. That makes sense. I'm kind of experimenting with both aim styles and figuring out what makes the most sense, but I feel like that's how you're supposed to do it. It feels better when I do that. You're gonna win. I'm not gonna let you win just yet, especially not against me. Dang it! She came back. That's good though. That's good. Dude, that was really stuff was really starting to make sense there. You're currently at 18,000. We need we're about halfway. Actually, I'm gonna use the bathroom really quick, guys, before we start the match. And then when we come back, we're gonna be playing a game of deathmatch and listening to like a how to peak angles or something like that at the same time. All right, be back in a minute. right. Get my bearings back, guys. Kind of out of practice a little bit for some reason. Like if I take even a more than one day off on a super fast mouse pad, I struggle to get used to it again. Should have never stopped playing, dude. I should have been devoting my life to video games. All right, go. Practice time. Depending on how much time we have, I'll kind of think about it after this death match if we're gonna do either unranked or ranked. We'll see.
Match found.
All right.
Death match. Warm up.
They think they're the best until we prove them wrong.
Fight.
Try not to get shot, okay?
Ew. Why you there? Ooh, good map though. Good map. I like that. I do like that. Son of a gun. Alright, we are not doing well.
Fly, my friend.
There we go. That's more like it.
Kill confirmed.
Why are you there? That was nice.
Alvida.
Good stuff, Sage. You got me. I didn't check to see. Yeah, she just got body shots at me. No headshot. There's someone here. I'm gonna start spamming Valorant mechanic videos in my car when I'm driving to work. Come on, bro. I'm in the middle of something. You don't have to interrupt like that. That's kind of lame. Oh, hello. Where? Good stuff. Someone behind me. Well done, ma'am, sir. Hit. Male player, female character. Ooh. I shot him in the nuggets. That's not good. Oh, hello.
Galana.
Oh my gosh. Dang it. No, dude. There's so many. Good stuff, dude. Good stuff.
Ten kills remaining.
Crap. Oh. Oh yeah, she's so far ahead. I'm in the top 3, but the difference between like the top like 2 and 3 is massive between us and player in first place. She's good. Crap. Oh, hello. What are you staring at me for like that?
Too slow.
One kill remaining.
Oh, I fell out of third place. That would have technically been considered a round win. That. Let's see if I can. No, dude.
Well fought, people.
I wanted to try to win the round. Like, end with third place, but someone got a kill from me. That was good. We had some really good kills there. It's just a matter of... That's the thing with glass pads, guys. It's like, there's a certain point where you just... Like, you just get it, you know? I don't know. Should we just say screw it and... Like, do the review today anyway? I feel like I should. Do, 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 do. Oh man. Let's do a take and see what happens, alright? That's what we're gonna do. Okay. I gotta think. Alright, we're just gonna try it out and see what happens, alright? And if it doesn't go well, we'll either do a retake or we'll like kind of at least get an idea of how it's supposed to go and reassess, alright? Go back to the home screen. For the time being, yeah, we'll do something like this. Base cam, but it's going to be here. Alright guys, what's going on? It's Fox DPS, and I wanted to start by kind of... See, we already screwed up. I want to start... we'll think of the first line, we'll just go from there. Got it. All right. All right, guys, what's going on? It's Fox DPS, and I wanted to kind of get back into doing reviews again. I did a few reviews at the very beginning of when we started YouTube, and I realized I don't know how many views those videos got. I'd have to go back and look at them, but it's been a long time, and I really enjoyed making those videos. So regardless of if they did well or not, I just wanted to get back into actually creating reviews for products that especially starting out with products that not a lot of people have actually used. Um, there are just not a lot of reviews for these products in general, right? And so the first product that I'm going to do a review on, as you can tell by the um, face cam here, it's not on my face, it is on my mouse pad. Yeah, my mouse pad. So, pardon like the readjusting. I can see like the camera kind of auto focusing and stuff like that. That's something we'll address later, but it's not too bad. So we're gonna roll with it. This is a little bit of an obscure product, and it took a lot of research to figure out more about this one. So we're gonna share a little bit of that research and share what my experience has been on it. This is my first glass mouse pad, guys. So this is a little bit of like an impression of glass in general. I'm not like the best player in the world. I'm like solidly in the middle with my gameplay and with how I can control a glass mouse pad. So I'm just gonna be 100% honest with that. I'm not a crazy gamer, but I like to practice and try my best. I have a full-time job. I have a family and kids, so I don't have time to spend 8 hours a day gaming. Like I can if I just want to be like really immature with my lifestyle. So this is called the Glaceon. I'll spell it out. You'll see it in the title as well of the video. It's Glaceon. The Glaceon glass mouse pad. And I think it's labeled as either XL or XXL, but I'm just going to define that. I would call it a large. I wouldn't call it an XL or an XXL. Definitely not XXL. I could look at the box to figure out, but you'll see in the title what the actual size is. It's a little bit of an obscure mouse pad. It's a brand that no one really knows about, Glaceon or however you want to say it. So it took a lot of research for me to figure out what the deal with this pad is because I have my own experience with it, and we'll talk about that. But of course, I wanted to look up some reviews and see what other people think about it. So, what I came to the conclusion of in about 3 weeks of research is that essentially, from what I understand, this is a clone, maybe even a better clone, of the Razer Atlas. It's made on the same machine in the same factory. It's got the exact same dimensions, and that is 400 millimeters tall by 450 millimeters wide. So it's slightly wider than it is tall, as you can see. I think this is a clone of the Razer Atlas. I haven't used the Razer Atlas to absolutely confirm that, but based on what I'm reading about the Razer Atlas, when I actually look at the thing, it seems to be a clone. One way that it's better, though, is that this logo here, it actually exists under the glass, whereas the Razer, wherever they place it, I don't really know, but they placed the Razer symbol, from what I've read, on the top of the glass. Now, I don't know if they've changed that with recent models. Maybe they've kind of redesigned it a little bit. But when you have the logo on top of the glass, it creates a little bit of a texture. And normally that's fine if you're on some kind of cloth or hybrid cloth of a mouse pad. Like a hybrid would be an example, would be like the Razer Strider or the Artisan Heian, which is my personal favorite mouse pad of all time, is the Artisan Heian. I think it's perfect. But that's a different review for a different day. When you have a fabric mouse pad or a hybrid mouse pad, the whole thing already has texture. So when you have the logo on top, it's just a part of that texture already. With a glass mouse pad, since it's so textureless and you don't get a whole lot of feedback on your mouse on most of these glass mouse pads, when you encounter texture, like for instance, if you have a piece of dust or a piece of hair on a cloth pad, no big deal. Trust me, they're there. On glass, dude, you notice. It's like you just went. It's like you're driving down the road and all of a sudden there's a bunch of potholes and you start bum 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 bum. You start bouncing around. That's how obstructive it is, and it's wild. You have to experience it for yourself to understand. But when you bump a piece of hair with your mouse, you're gonna feel some stuff. From what I've heard from other reviews, when you hit that logo on the Razer, it's very bumpy, and this is not there. It doesn't exist on the Glaceon. So, very long-winded, but that kind of explains a little bit of glass in general. So I wanted to elaborate on that. The fact is that glass mouse pads you have to clean regularly. However, all you need to do to clean a glass mouse pad is this. You grab a microfiber of some sort. It's totally dry when I'm about to play, or maybe sometimes mid-session if my dog comes in. I do this. And sometimes I'll even take the mouse and swipe that. So I have tried this mouse pad on 2 different types of skates. I started first with PTFE, like the original skates on the mouse, just to see what it was like. It was butter smooth. However, it makes you notice even more with those bumps and textures on the pad, like if you have a piece of hair or dust on it, for instance. And then I switched to something a little bit more controlled and slower, which has been amazing, by the way. The Obsidian Dot Air, the Obsidian Air dots. You can see it in the camera there. These little purple dots. I put 6 on the mouse, 3 on the top, 3 on the bottom. That did slow the mouse down a little bit and add a little bit of texture and graininess, but in a good way. I love it. But it's it's still pretty fast. I'm not a spinning expert, so that's my best, guys. All right. So let's dig into how it is on different types of games. All right. So for tracking based games like Marvel Rivals, Overwatch, it's amazing. You'll get used to the mouse pad in like, it took me about 5-10 minutes, dude. It was fast. And so I was thinking, and I also Robot Quest, so that's kind of target switching and tracking. Pretty heavy target switching, actually. When I played these games, I adapted to the mouse pad in about 5 minutes. It was almost instant. Once I put especially when I put the new skates on, then it was just like lights out, and it gave me this false impression that glass was the most intuitive thing that I've ever used. I was wrong. And so now we go to the next category of games, which is actually my big project for the year, is to get somewhere on Valorant and Counter-Strike, which to me is like the same goal. If I can get somewhere on Counter-Strike or Valorant or vice versa, I'll be able to achieve the same level in the other. In my opinion, it's same skill set, different games. So like you'll have to kind of like practice and stuff like that to learn the differences between the two, but it's the same skill sets is what I mean. Yeah, tack shooters. I'm gonna go into the range soon, and you'll see. I'll demonstrate in the range what I'm talking about. Between it's essentially tracking versus like flicking and micro adjusting. That is where the difficulty comes in. This glass pad is very, very smooth. It is a very fast mouse pad. We'll be trying the Empress in a couple of days, if not by the end of the day today. And that's why I'm doing this review video. We kind of procrastinated until the very end. We'll be getting the Padworks Empress, and then at the very end of the month, about a month from now, we'll be getting the Glassworks Polarity. Those allegedly have more control. This is a very fast mouse pad. All right. Now, even though it's very smooth, it does have a very slight texture. If you look real close to the pad, you might even see in the camera how you have like a little bit of like grainy refraction going on. That is because there's a slight texture, and it's hard to see with the eyes unless you use like a magnifying glass. I don't have one on hand, unfortunately. I don't even own one. But if you put your eyes really close to it or look in the camera, there's a bit of a refracting, almost like a sandiness. You can't feel it. It is actually, in a way, smoother than window glass. Because window glass, it is technically smoother, but it's so smooth that your hands stick to it hard. You'll have that kind of like, if you're on clean glass, it has that bumpy, like, clunky feeling. This, you can almost not use a sleeve. I haven't devoted a lot of time to not using a sleeve because it just drags a little bit, and not in like a good way. It almost makes it more difficult to use. And you would think that if you had a little bit of drag, it would be easier because it would slow it down. In my opinion, I don't think that's the case. I actually think that you need a sleeve because it's not the type of drag that you want. You want the drag on the mouse. You don't want a drag on your hand. Because that, for me at least, that creates a little bit of like an awkward, like bottom heavy experience, and I don't want that. Because it's like your hand wants to slow down, but the mouse is like doing this, and that is not good. You want to be able to make straight lines. When your hand drags below the mouse, it wants to curve because the mouse is faster. I don't know. There's someone in the comment section of this video that is like a really big nerd and is going to actually try to take the time to understand what the heck I'm talking about. So, yeah, it's been a long time since I did a review, guys, so I'm doing my best. Okay, so let's go into the practice range really quick, and I'm going to show you what I'm talking about.
My ultimate's ready.
All right, we'll pick like Jet or something like that, and just go to practice mode. Grab like a ghost for this example, and maybe a vandal, but okay. So for tracking, let's put the sleeve back on really quick. We're done talking about the sleeveless experience, and so we're not going to do it anymore. So for smooth tracking, it's very easy because it's a one-for-one experience. That is what I like about glass. It will highlight, by the way, guys, anything wrong with your aim. So please make sure that before you switch to glass, it is not cheap. Please aim train on cloth first, and get good with that before you switch over. Don't switch to a glass pad as a beginning aimer. I highly don't recommend that. Then, when you get at least to an intermediate level on a cloth or hybrid, then consider picking up glass and watch a ton of reviews about the glass pad that you're trying to get. We'll get to the price of this one at the very end, and we'll decide if it's right for you. So the smoothness is great, and that's why I said that I had no trouble really like playing, say, Arc Raiders or Marvel Rivals, kind of Overwatch, depending on the character. Robot Quest, even target switching was not bad. The issue is micro adjusting, and especially large flicks for me. So micro adjustments are okay, It's just fingertip movements like that. I play a moderate sensitivity of 41.5 centimeters approximately. That's not bad. However, when I make big movements like this, all the way over here, I'll either over aim, over flick, like slightly past it. But the worst part about learning a glass pad, and it's extremely frustrating because it makes you feel like you're bad all of a sudden when you've been practicing for several years, is that when you get to your target, you don't notice it happening, but you might have had the perfect flick, and then this happens. And that's in slow-mo. So when I get there, let's exaggerate in real time. I get to my target and I go like that. The problem is that if I move my hand fast, the inertia of my hand trying to stop and the tension makes me bounce back a little bit because there's nothing stopping my hand in terms of friction. That is going to require you to loosen your hand dramatically and your shoulder, by the way. You need to lose the tension out of your hand, your wrist, forearm, bicep, and shoulder all at the same time because something's going to try to take over. That tension can exist on a cloth because the cloth has its own friction and it'll help you stop. On glass, you're going to bounce back, and so you thought you got to the target, but then you did this when you got there. And then you bounced back, and you're like, well, I'm on the target. Why is it not dead? Why is it not? Why did I not hit it? Guys, it took me so much energy to figure out that that was what was happening. I had to research it, watch videos, watch my own VODs. I finally figured that out. If you lose the tension in your basically everything hand up, then you'll eventually be able to stop dead on a target. And that's not even perfect, but you'll get it. Way, way, way easier said than done, guys. For me, at least. Granted, I bodybuild. I have a lot of muscular tension in general compared to maybe the average person, and that might be a factor. But I wouldn't make any assumptions. I would assume that it's going to be the same for everyone else because I don't want you guys to get frustrated with a peripheral. Just because you think that maybe, well, I don't bodybuild, so it'll be fine. Just let you know, there's a really good chance that that happens to you too. All right? Maybe it might be worse for people that don't work on muscle control in the gym. It might be worse. Okay, so yeah, target switching, flicks is very difficult. Tracking and target switching is moderately easy because whatever muscle memory you build up is going to reflect perfectly on this pad, guys. It's very smooth. Like I said, almost almost too smooth, okay? All right, let's go back to the... All right, so overall, this mouse pad, let's do a stars out of 5 review. I've kind of been accustomed to that. But you can do the math if you prefer like 10-star reviews. We're going to do 5s. Overall, let's talk about the price first. So the price of this mouse pad can vary. From what I've seen, you can obtain this mouse pad for somewhere between $60 and $70. At this price point, I do recommend it. However, there are several other budget mouse pads out there that you might check out first, depending on what you're looking for. But if you're looking for a nice, smooth mouse pad, this has been really good for me at that price point. Now, here's the caveat. when I went to Amazon to find this, which was not necessarily easy, and I can post that link in my description of the YouTube video, I saw that it was $130. That is the going rate on the market for a glass mouse pad. And if I'm being 100% honest, I think at that price point, there are glass mouse pad companies that have outstanding customer service. It's very hard to even find the customer service for this company. There are companies out there with better customer service, and have been doing this for much longer and are more experienced with making potentially better mouse pads. So, at the $130 price point, I do not recommend. However, if you can get this mouse pad for $60 or $70 and you want a reasonably priced fast glass mouse pad with little texture and little control but more smoothness and speed, at that price point, it's perfect. It's just about perfect. $130 I can't necessarily recommend, but let's just assume that the price is $60 or $70. Overall, I'm going to give this mouse pad a 4.5 out of 5. At $130, I'm going to give it a 4.0. It's still a solid mouse pad at that price. I just feel like there are more options out there once you start approaching $130, which is still good. 4.0 is good. 4.5 is excellent, and it's the 4.5 at the lower price point. So if you can find it, guys, at that low price point, potentially go out and cop this mouse pad. Go get it for yourself. Try it out. It's a good entry point. Hopefully this review was informative. I'll put a few gameplay clips maybe at the end of the video and sprinkled throughout. Thank you for watching. Go ahead and like and subscribe below. And please comment any questions that you have for me, and I'll be answering them as long as you ask them.